Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, December the 4th, 2023, and it's going to be a relatively upbeat week, perfect for beginning the holiday festivities because there's some positive Venus, pleasurable, entertaining Venus energies. But let's just start with Monday, December the 4th. The moon is in Virgo, which is a pretty good sign, one of the better signs to start the work week, because Virgo is the sign of work and service, and it's sensible and it's practical. However, late morning Pacific time, the moon will be in tension with Mars, maybe from about around 11 a.m. past noon. And that could be, the moon could be emotional, impatientness, irritability, stress, but it's only an hour or two. And Venus, pleasure-seeking Venus, is leaving Libra for the past several weeks and moving into Scorpio. And so it's with Venus in Scorpio, more passion, more intensities, seeking a deeper connection. The moon on Tuesday continues in sensible Virgo and will be in harmony with innovative, exciting Uranus from about noon up to 2 p.m. Pacific time. That brings a lot of emotional excitement, able to let go of old stuck habits and routines, and pleasurable Venus, creative, loving Venus, as it's just went into Scorpio on Monday, will be in harmony with pragmatic Saturn in Pisces. They're both water signs, which is why they're compatible with, the Venus is compatible with the Saturn. Now, this is very favorable for anything dealing with finance and business, because Venus, as well as love, represents finance, because Venus likes the finer things in life. It's very favorable for accomplishing any type of creative projects. And when it comes to love and romance, there's a feeling of more stability, security, longevity with that Venus-Saturn on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the moon, in continuing in sensible Virgo, goes void of course. A short time from 5:51 a.m. to 8:36 a.m. Again, moon void of course. Not a time to be launching any major new projects. Just stick to your old route, your typical, usual routine. But come 8:36 a.m. Pacific time, the moon now moves into Libra. And the moon is that emotion, the overall emotional response. Libra is more sociable, more fair-minded, more diplomatic. And there aren't any other planetary events for the rest of the day. So it's going to be kind of calming, but it's also with Libra can be very sociable and friendly energies. On Thursday, the moon in Libra will be in harmony with the sun in Sag. That brings a lot of ease, a lot of comfortable energies, and Mercury, communication, talkative Mercury, will be in the best flow of energy to expansive Jupiter. In many ways, Jupiter's the higher vibration of Mercury. Because Mercury, think of Mercury as writing the book. Jupiter is publishing the book. The Jupiter is long distance traveling. Mercury is this restlessness and curiosity. So on the 7th, with Mercury in harmony with Jupiter, all things Jupiter will be favored. Great for traveling, great or just making travel plans, good for anything that deals with education or making educational plans going into the new year. But Mercury also represents the mind. And with the Jupiter favorable, you'll be feeling more optimistic. Now, on the 8th, the moon continuing in Libra, fair-minded, balanced Libra, it's going to be in a stressful angle to compulsive Pluto around 5-6 p.m. Pacific time. That can trigger a lot of emotional intensity. It can be favorable for probing deep into your psyche. That's like meditation, counseling, having an astrology reading. But then the moon in Libra goes void of course, 5:06 p.m. to 7:36 p.m. And again, don't introduce anything new, just stick to your routine. At which point, 7:36 p.m. Pacific time, the moon goes into passionate, intense Scorpio for the weekend. And on Saturday, the moon in Scorpio will be favorable with Jupiter and Mercury, because Mercury and Jupiter were exactly in harmony on Thursday. So by Saturday, they're only about a degree apart from each other, but the moon in Scorpio is going to trigger both of these planets from mid to late morning Pacific time, ideal for socializing, making plans, especially because Venus, pleasure-seeking Venus, will be in opposition or interacting with others with expansive Jupiter. And it's Saturday, and we're moving into the holidays. And so this is a really, if you were to want to attend a party or host a party or go to an entertainment venue or start a pleasurable vacation, that Venus-Jupiter, you will be feeling really very contented and happy. The only downside about Venus and Jupiter, because they're in opposition, so there's a bit of a tension, is overdoing, overindulging, spending too much money, drinking too much, eating too much rich foods, but with a big smile on your face, and it is Saturday evening. On Sunday, the moon is continuing in Scorpio, but it will be opposite, again, this tension, but oppositions is you're interacting with others. Around 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, the moon's opposite Uranus. Uranus is all this unexpected, unpredictable energies. You might be feeling emotionally anxious and stressed because of other people's or external situations. But late afternoon, going to 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific time, the moon in Scorpio, a water sign, will be in harmony with inspiring Neptune in Pisces, a water sign. So that moon Neptune by early evening Pacific time, it's very favorable for compassion, for charity, for one's intuition, and to want to really help those in need. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week for my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.